Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds.
Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous 2-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Last week, we watched The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas.
This week, we watched Bernard and the Genie.
The connection was Christmas! Yeah, it was Christmas! It was Christmas everywhere.
No, it wasn't. There was no Christmas in the Flintstones, Zach.
Oh, yeah. No, the connection was Alan Cumming.
Yeah, there we go. We got there in the end.
Boo. Welcome to the very first episode of 2025. Beep, 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 beep.
Boom!
What's that? The sound of fireworks? Oh, no, that was a plate smashing. Oh, look, it's fireworks.
Oh.
Whoa. It's the Happy New Year.
I like how our editor Sharky put in a plate smashing sound effect in one of our recent, I think it was Jingle All the Way, but it was a different one to the one I was using, which makes it even funnier. Oh, there it is again.
Oh, my goodness. It's the smashing season. Sandro.
Whoa, Zach.
Welcome to 2025. How are you feeling this year? How's this year gone for you so far?
I'm already back at work, so it's going. How about you?
It never stopped for me. This is the busy time of year. This is when I do the most work.
Exactly. This is the first time we've recorded right through the holidays as well. I mean,
yes,
we recorded the Flintstones before Christmas, but like just before Christmas, and we're recording this just before New Year's. I mean, just after New Year's. So
we're squeezing it in. It is difficult.
This is the latest we've ever recorded.
I was like, yeah, I can record straight through. I have no plans, and then all the plans were made, and then it was like, oh shit, I'm not at home for like 2.5 weeks. Well, that's good.
Well, we figured it out. How was your Christmas and New Year's, Zach?
My Christmas was very good. I had a lot of cousins over from New Zealand, from Shepparton, which might as well be a different country.
Shepparton is as close to New Zealand as Australia can get.
Yeah, it pretty much is, really.
There's so many sheep there.
Yeah,
that's more Tassie.
Yeah, I was going to say Tasmania is the New Zealand of Australia, really. How was your Christmas/New Year's? Oh, and my New Year's I got wasted.
Nice.
And had to go to bed. Not before being able to watch the fireworks and everything from our rooftop, which was pretty cool in our new house. We could see right to Melbourne, which was pretty awesome.
Man, I need to come and visit that house at some point pretty soon. Haven't done that yet.
You do need to come. Doctors say.
True. It's a problem.
Yeah.
My Christmas was fine. I went to the beach. I got sunburnt a little bit.
Oh, nice. Hey.
I swore that I put sunscreen on my arms, yet somehow...
The pasty white podcaster going outside for once. What do you expect, you know?
Exactly. Now, I'm not that pasty. I survived Perth last year for Christmas.
Yeah,
Didn't get sunburned once, Zach. So I actually blame Melbourne. I blame Melbourne.
Yeah. That is the cause of all my problems.
And then, New Year's was fun. Had a few drinks with some friends and played some Uno. Won Uno against about 8 other people. And you know what? I will brag about that luck that I managed to get.
Damn, no, I would too. That is pretty good. That's pretty pog. In an 8-person pod, that's a winner right there.
Was a good little bit.
You know what I won? I won Blood on the Clock Tower.
What's that?
Which is the werewolf or slash Secret Hitler sort of,
Oh, one of those games. I love those games.
Yeah. I won that with the evil person. I was one of the evil dudes.
Hell yeah.
And I bamboozled everyone by acting like I didn't know what the fuck was going on, which was very believable.
Oh, hell yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
That's good.
So-
We have, at work, every, couple weeks, that there's, some board game. It's like a board game afternoon thing, and that's my number one trick, is I just pretend I don't know the games, but I actually am way more of a gamer than anyone there.
Yeah,
Win some of the time.
Hell yeah, dude.
Anyway, this week we're reviewing a movie that you picked. The connection was that Alan Cumming was in last week's movie, and he's the main character in this week's movie. And what you picked was a TV film called Bernard and the Genie.
Yeah, and look, it's good, because I've always wanted to watch more stuff with Alan Cumming in it, because he's in Spy Kids.
Classic.
Everyone's favorite.
Yep.
And as a young, impressionable child, Spy Kids was one of my top movies, and seeing him in it, and I was like, oh my god, he's such a good bad guy. Let me go watch all of his other stuff.
He's also pretty good in the X-Men movies, his Nightcrawler. He's a great actor. Just whenever he was in one episode of Doctor Who, and the episode was fucking terrible, but he was in it, and he was really good.
He was in Son of the Mask, everyone's favorite.
No, that was something you picked for last week.
Yeah. He was in Goldeneye, which I didn't know. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, he's the semi-bad guy, kinda, in Goldeneye. He's good in that movie. I like him in that movie a lot. But yeah, he's got a good track record. This movie has also got Rowan Atkinson in it, who, we're big fans of. He's great.
Wait, have we seen stuff with him in before? I've never heard of this.
Oh,
Rowan Atkinson? Is that what?
Atkinson, yeah. He's in this one, he's in a parody of James Bond. He's also in a parody of Charlie Chaplin. Yep. And he's in the Monty Python spin-off Blackadder.
That's where I know him from.
That's where you know him from.
Yeah. He plays Baldrick, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's my favorite prequel to House MD is Blackadder.
Yeah. Yeah, where he plays the noble lord. Yeah.
Very noble. What's the best season of Blackadder? I reckon it's either 2 or 3 or 4.
Yes, those are all my favorite seasons as well.
Zach, what did you think of Bernard and the Genie? We're going to be doing non-spoilers and then spoilers. Non-spoilers is going to be so small because no one's heard of this movie, so everything's going to be spoilers.
Oh, this was like a little slice of pie. This was like a little slice of cake, a bit of dessert, a little bit of cheeky, but not too much.
No, this movie is only 65 minutes.
This is a pop brownie of a movie, I think a pop brownie is the perfect description, because it's not the greatest dessert ever. It wasn't made with all these complicated ingredients. It's not very hard, but someone offers you a bit of brownie, you go, ooh, I'll take a bit of brownie. Nom, 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 nom. Oh, and everyone was high. That's why it's a pop brownie. Everyone involved in this film was definitely high.
I agree with that statement. I agree with the statement that it was it was pretty cozy. It is a Christmas movie, which we probably should mention. It is a little bit cringe watching Christmas after New Year's. I'm always give it a month at least.
No. The Christmas decorations are still up for half the neighborhood, right? You're allowed to.
It's
true.
It's okay.
Once January's got a week or so in, then you're absolutely, you've pushed it way too far. But we're right on the cusp where I would personally allow it.
You know what? That's fair.
You're coasting off the coattails of Christmas at this stage.
Yes.
It's definitely a little cringe, but it's okay.
It's not too, doing a Christmas movie next week's going to be cringe. That's cringe.
Yeah, that would be so cringe if you picked a Christmas movie and then I randomly picked that one and that's the one that we watch.
I certainly hope that's not going to happen. It sounds like we've pre-recorded that section. You don't know what the movies are yet.
I have no idea, but now I have an inkling because we just watched a fucking Christmas film and I was too fixated on the fact that there was a genie in this film and you could do Aladdin and I was like, oh, that'd be cool. We could watch the original Aladdin. Wait a minute. No, he wouldn't pick Aladdin, the normal one. He'd pick the live action one.
I wouldn't pick the Aladdin that I've watched maybe 10 times. I would instead pick the live action one I've seen the first 5 minutes of 2 times and turned it off. Ooh. Or one of the sequels.
I haven't seen the live action one, so I would love that not to bless my eyeballs.
I don't want to. I did not put that in. I don't go for the normie options. Sometimes I don't go for them. But no, I quite like this movie. I was a little bit scared going into it because this is impossible to find. It's never been released on DVD or streaming. I don't think it's ever been remastered, honestly. So the only copies that exist are like VHS rips.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit scared going into it just due to the quality. You have to watch this on... It is free on YouTube, but you have to watch it on YouTube and the quality's not great. But it honestly, like, even though the quality was kind of terrible, it drew me right in. I had a fun time from start to end. There was one little point where I was like, oh, my issues with Christmas movies are coming out a little bit. This is getting very Christian. And then it made a joke. And I was like, actually, I forgive it. Actually, never mind. I'm coming around.
Sandro, when Christianity is mentioned, ooh. Sandro, when they make fun of Christianity,
Exactly. But no, I thought it was good. I thought everyone's really good in this movie as well. We've talked about Alan Cumming and Rowan Atkinson. They're obviously great in this, but Lenny Henry as the Genie is very good.
Yeah, I can't wait for halfway through this year for me to make you watch a VeggieTales Christmas movie.
That would be hilarious, though. That would be very good content.
I'm going to slide one in unexpectedly and hope you pick it at some stage.
Yeah.
Just to inflict that on you. Because I grew up with VeggieTales, and I love it when Christianity is mentioned in my Christmas films.
I think that would be hilarious, actually. I would love to do one of those. But yeah, it's a fun. It's hard to talk about with non-spoilers, but I think it's good. There's a lot of good comedic moments, a lot of great quotes. This movie is surprisingly adult for a TV Christmas movie, but also it's British, so, you know. Yeah,
I think it's just like, it had that British thing where they're just a bit more adult in general, but also, like, it was back in, when did this film come out?
91,
right? Yeah, so there's still... the television's a bit more adult-focused, even for kids, I think,
Especially in Britain, yeah.
Yeah. It's just got, like, British humor, which I think British humor, I like a good bit of British humor. Especially, this film is a great watch with a cup of tea and a box of crumpets, You're just... delicious, and you can guffaw while making jokes about how you hate your wife, and it's a good time. Yes.
I hate my wife, and I relate to the main character of Fawlty Towers. That's me when I'm watching this movie.
Yes, yes. He gets annoyed because people do stupid things, and that frustrates him. I also get frustrated at stupid people.
But it's not really a surprise that this movie is good when you look at who's involved. Obviously, the 3 main cast members are all great, but also it's written by Richard Curtis, who co-created Blackadder and Mr. Bean with Rowan Atkinson. So it makes sense that it's good, because it's written by the guy who has written Rowan Atkinson's best stuff. So, like,
yeah,
the writer, he also created The Vicar of Dibley, which is a classic.
Ooh, yep.
He wrote the Doctor Who episode where they meet Vincent van Gogh, which is one of the best episodes.
Oh, yeah! Look, a little dramatic, I would say, but a great episode. I mean, all Doctor Who's a little dramatic. What the fuck am I talking about?
That's especially when it's bloody Stephen Moffat's era. Oh, the most recent Christmas special. Don't bloody get me started on that.
Ooh.
It was pretty good for like half of it, and then I hated the second half.
Oh, nice.
He wrote 4 Weddings and a Funeral, which is apparently good. He wrote Bridget Jones's Diary. He directed Love Actually, which is weird. That it is fun, but not for good reasons. But anyway, he's a really good writer. So it's like, it's not really surprised that that's good. It is directed by a guy called Paul Wayland, who mainly just does ads, but I think he potentially also worked on Mr. Bean.
I could tell watching this film he mainly does ads, am I right? because it was slightly sponsored by certain food groups.
That's right.
I don't know if you noticed the subtle messaging in
Subtle?
those films. Yeah, the very subtle messaging.
I don't know if I'd say subtle,
Fucking
but
hell.
maybe a little bit. The director of this has also directed a Bill Cosby movie called Leonard Part 6, which was an option when we covered the 80s. That was an option. Obviously, we passed up on it, but that is considered one of the worst comedy movies of all time.
But Sandro, why would we pass up on Bill Cosby? Why would we?
I got a message from Zach Rose, friend of the show, Zach Rose, and
Oh yeah, that's my favorite Zach podcaster.
exactly. And I'm pretty sure you're his favorite Zach podcaster as well. That's a fun coincidence.
That is the law going currently. Yes.
And he was like, Sandra, you have to pick this as an option. I was like, no, we're not watching a Bill Cosby movie.
Yeah, that's fair. Look, maybe in the future, but I mean, yeah.
Maybe with him as a cameo, not the main character. I don't think I could handle that personally.
Yeah, ooh, yeah, that's a bit rough, yeah.
But anyway, we should just rate this and move on to spoilers, I reckon, because, no one's seen this, so we're going to have to go through the plot.
There was one last thing I had to mention.
Oh, yes?
And it's my regular complaint. I always mention this, but the runtime of this movie
Oh, no.
was perfectly fine. It was great. It was only an hour, so it was very digestible, Didn't overstay its welcome. It had a nice little story and it did it and it's done.
Yeah, it's a TV movie, but it doesn't feel like a long TV show. It feels like a movie that's really short and just happened to be shown on TV, which is good.
Like, I could have gone for another 10 more minutes, but I think they did the right thing with the length of the,
Yeah.
They had used up all their good ideas and they finished it up. They wrapped it up, ended the thing, and it was good.
You know what? I agree with this. Oldie or a goodie from you, Zach?
I will absolutely rate this a goodie. This is one of those films where it's like, I'm glad I did this show with my friend Sandro. Like, every other episode, I'm like, I regret everything. I hate this piece of shit. Why am I doing this fucking shit bull fucking crap? And then we watch these and I'm like, here's the oldie, but a goodie.
Exactly. It's the hidden gems that we sought to find and just happen to, sometimes we kind of ruin the show and do a bunch of bad stuff on purpose.
It's like, yeah, we're gonna dig up diamonds in the rough, and then we go and like hang out in a bar for 12 hours, get wasted, come out, and then collapse, and then we just so happen to land on top of a diamond in the rough.
Exactly, yeah. Although, to be fair, I still haven't given an oldie this week. I got close last week, but you tricked me into giving last week's goodies.
It was my revenge. My long sought after revenge.
So it's been a pretty good year. But yeah, I'm going to give this a goodie as well. I think it's pretty good. Obviously, no box office for you to guess, but there is...
I mean, of course it's a pretty good year. You've rated 100% of this year's movies.
You're right. Goodies. When I say this year, I mean this season. Which started with Moana.
What a great year it's been so far.
Have you gone to see Moana 2 yet? Any updates on that?
I have not. I haven't been able to leave my house for non-Christmas related / work related reasons yet. But I might be able to next week.
Yeah, I 100% I think you should, and you should report back. I've heard mixed reviews. The behind the scenes is that it's 3 episodes of a TV show that they decided to release as a movie, so my expectations are low.
That's what I've heard, but I've also heard it isn't that bad. So
okay.
maybe it's good. Maybe they tied it together. Maybe they fixed it all up. I don't know.
Anyway, Zach, tagline time. You got to give these taglines a thumb up or a thumb down.
Ooh, there's taglines? All right.
No, there aren't any taglines, but you still have to give a thumb up or a thumbs down.
I give you a thumbs down.
Bloody gotcha, mate. Get pranked.
I got pranked. I was like, oh, there's taglines.
No, there's no bloody taglines on this movie.
You bastard. Oh, you cheeky blinder you are, aren't you?
Well, howdy there. Selly McSella here, back with another ad. Did you know that I'm a big fan of The Police? The band, that is. I only like the cops when one of them is played by Eddie Murphy. And that is very relevant to this week's promo, which is an ad for patreon.com/Oldie But a Goodie Pod, where this month, Sandro and Zach have reviewed Beverly Hills Cop 4. Axel F, he's a dad now, and he's on Netflix, and he's making jokes. So many jokes. Here's a clip.
But do you know what's funny? I'm pretty sure one of my gripes with the old ones is the same as this one. They play fucking Axel F every fucking 2 fucking seconds. Like, fuck me. I can't. They have like slow reverb Axel F for the dramatic moments. And it took me so out of the movie because I was like, what the fuck? They're playing Axel F in this really sad dramatic scene. But here's the thing. It's kind of a banger of a song. So I was absolutely okay with it.
It is a banger of a song. And like, did they even trick you at times? So there's a song that Lil Nas X made for this movie, which sounds like it's just its own song.
Yeah.
Until you get to the drop, in which is just another version of Axel F.
Yeah! Oh, it was so good. It was mwah.
I honestly can't believe that Eddie Murphy needed money so badly that he made another Beverly Hills Cop movie, but he did. And they reviewed it over on patreon.com/Oldie But a Goodie Pod, where you can also hear their review for Beverly Hills Cop 2. For number 3, you've got to go to a different podcast, and I don't think they ever reviewed 1. Maybe for like 5 minutes at one point. Anyway, that's up there, linked in the episode description. You can also subscribe for a lower tier and get a bunch of ad-free episodes, so you don't have to listen to me say that I like the police ever again. Alright, spoilers, watch out. Genie's out of the lamp and we're doing spoilers.
Whoa, spoilers out of the lamp. You know what I'm saying? It's spoiler time.
We're gonna go through the plot of this because no one's seen it, so...
Yeah, I mean, but you should. It's on YouTube. It's on an hour. You just chuck it on in the background. It's just a good time.
The quality's not great. Like, you can hear all the background noises and the pictures is incredibly blurry, but it's fine.
But honestly, that adds to it for me.
I agree.
Because you know how sometimes they add that sort of filter to things to make it seem oldie, you know?
Yeah.
This feels natural. Like, you know, once I got into the film, didn't even notice the whole time. And then I was like, at the end, I was like, oh yeah, you know?
I agree. Anyway, this movie opens with a flashback to ancient times, where we see a man who is turned into a genie by a sorcerer.
Yeah, he pisses off the sorcerer by murdering his daughter.
Yes.
Which is really glossed over the fact that he's just...
Well, no, it was a knife-throwing accident, Zach. It wasn't murder. It was just manslaughter.
My apologies, Sandro. All my criticisms taken back. Merely manslaughter? My apologies.
Exactly. But anyway, he's put into a lamp. He's a genie now.
Cut to the future, where we see our up-and-coming superstar. It's Alan Cumming.
Hey!
And we get a lovely little ditty, a little song, which is like, he's on top of the world, he's the best, nothing can get him down.
His name is Bernard Bottle, which is an incredible name for a movie like this.
Bernard Bottle. Yeah. Bernard Bottle.
Bernard Bottle. He's a successful man.
He's a successful man. What did you think of the music?
Oh, I loved it.
It was a banger. It was a banger. This whole intro sequence is kind of great because we see he's in the newspaper. He's gotten in the news because he's discovered some paintings from these old ladies, and they were worth like $50 million.
Oh my god, that's like $150 million now.
Yeah, I know, right? Back in the day, that's a lot of money. Even now, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
That's so much dosh.
That's a lot of dosh. And he's coming into work, and people are giving him flowers. They're giving him chocolates. They're giving him kisses on the cheek. You know,
so much stuff.
He's on top of the world. He comes into his boss's office.
Yeah.
And the boss is like, enter ye, enter ye.
Rowan Atkinson in this movie keeps saying ye. He's like, sit ye, sit ye.
Why? Why is he saying this?
I don't know, but it's very funny. It's so funny.
It is very funny. It's very stupid.
His acting choices in this are just like, I feel like he was like, I know the writer. He trusts me. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. He was really weird in this. He
was.
was just kind of there, and then he was evil. I wish we had gotten a bit more screen time for his villainy.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because it's Rowan Atkinson, obviously. But, like, he was good. He was good.
He was very good.
It was very silly that he was saying ye all the time. Every time I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Rowan?
Sit ye, take ye the coffee.
Yeah, like, why? Why is he just acting like a rich guy? Is that his thing? He's like posh? Is this like the ye bit is posh? Is that his whole thing?
I don't know. But Zach, he may be posh, but he's also a bit of a dickhead, if I may say so. Because Alan Cumming's like, we got all this money, and I was going to give some of the profits to the people that we bought the paintings off of, because we got it off them for too cheap. And Rowan Atkinson's like, I'm going to fire you now.
And he's like, what? And he's like, yep, get out of my office. Fuck you.
Also, I'm spreading rumors about theft and sexual harassment, which shouldn't be funny. It's the 90s. It was a different time, but just the way that Rowan Atkinson kept pronouncing the word harassment was very funny to me.
Yeah, he like calls up his secretary and tells them to spread rumors that he's sexually harassing and is just an awful human being.
We get a line where he's like, and also, I just saw my other secretary and she seemed particularly harassed. Sexually. Like, it's not funny, but it is very funny. And I don't know if that's unwoke of me to say, but I've said it before in the podcast. I don't know how to be woke, and I'm just saying it like it is. Subscribe to me on Patreon.
Yeah. Wow. Sandra is very red-pilled, unlike me, who's very woke and an ally, you know? Like, I hate men. Bam. There you go. Yep. All men are bad. And therefore, if all men are bad, no men are bad.
Our YouTube comments are lighting up. This is not, oh no. We've ended up on the wrong side of the internet now. That's okay, though. Anyway, that was all a joke parody where this is all satire. You don't get it, actually, Americans.
I actually get it, and Sandra's just not as woke as I am, you know? I'm not lived up as I am, you know?
So then we get a sad version of the song that we just heard, where it's like he's no longer the most successful man.
Yeah. This is the main point. The whole intro is like, he's the top of the world, nothing can stop him now. And then it's like that you see him exiting his boss's office, and it's like, he's at the lowest point. He can't get lower. He sucks. Everyone hates him.
Yeah.
Which was very funny because I wasn't expecting it. But it's that classic juxtaposition sort of like. And, like, you see all his gifts that he was given are just taken from him, including his, like, lapels and his tie, which just weren't given to him. They just rip it off him.
And also his car keys as well.
Yeah. Someone slaps him in the face. It's like...
It's very funny. It's a very good joke. Not only that, Zach, but he finds out his fiancée is cheating on him with his best friend. And he's like, oh my goodness, why are you doing that? And they're like, well, you're so successful that we thought we'd give this a shot. And he's like, oh my God, the life sucks.
No, they were doing it beforehand, but they let him know because he was so successful at the moment that he wouldn't mind.
Of course.
But of course, he's not so successful at the moment because he's just been fired.
I think even if he was successful, he would still probably mind.
Again, yes, it's a bit of a fucking low blow on their part.
That's right. I'm kind of glad that these characters aren't fleshed out at all, really. Every character in this is very surface level, because if Bernard was more fleshed out, this would be a horror film. This is so sad.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. It's like, there's a lot of things that this movie could have done because of the whole Genie bit, and we're about to get to there. But there is a genie in this film, and there is a lot of slight done to this man. He could have gone on a revenge spree.
Definitely. That's a fun movie, actually. That would be a good idea for a movie, maybe.
Oh, absolutely. We're making this. Bernard and the Massacre is the movie we're making.
Bernard and the Genie Massacre.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that'd be good fun. I liked the scene where he walks past his fish tank, and not only is his fish dead, but his fish has been dead for so long that it's just fish bones floating at the top of the tank.
Yeah.
That was very funny. It's kind of out of nowhere. Anyway.
So yeah, for some reason he's crying, I think, and rubbing his eyes, and so then he rubs the classic lamp rubbing. It's like he accidentally rubs this lamp.
Yeah, he picks up a lamp that he's randomly got on his bookcase.
And I like in this version when the genie pops out, it fucking explodes.
Yeah.
And next thing that happens is he wakes up because he was like unconscious from the explosion.
Yes, he wakes up and he's like, "Wow, what a weird time that was."
Yeah,
because he goes to the hospital and we're introduced to the doorman, who's another recurring character.
Yes, the doorman is my favorite character. I'd say
he's fun. I like him a lot. Yeah,
the doorman's really he's a great guy. Because Cummings comes in and he's like, "Oh, yeah, my girl cheated on me and all these things." And he's like, "Oh, that's okay, sir. You know what? I've also had a bad day like this one time. Yes, I was once working for the fuel companies.
Yes.
And I developed a fuel that was cheaper, more efficient, and wouldn't cost a thing. And then they fired me, and I didn't see a penny of it." And he's like, "Oh, did that really happen to you?" And he's like, "No, sir, it did not happen.
I was lying.
I just said it, and I hope it make you feel better." And he's like, oh, well, that's well and decent of you.
Yeah, his whole bit is that he just lies. He just lies constantly. It's very funny.
Yeah, but he's a great guy. He's just a pathological liar. He just tells lies.
He also said the line when Alan Cumming was like, "If I start to feel like I'm gonna die again, I'll call you up." And he's like, "Yes, you do, sir. I'll be there quicker than a poker up a pervert." I've got a lot of quotes written down for this one. Just weird lines.
There are some great lines in this.
It's good. But Zach, he returns to his apartment and he sees there's someone there. We get some horror music and he's like, "Oh my god, there's a home invader."
Yeah. Now, how did the paramedics not notice this man, especially as we see this man later on, is beyond me. But the movie quickly skips past this, so I'll ignore it as well.
Doesn't matter. Movie's an hour long. Doesn't matter.
Did not explain it. So, he pops into he grabs his umbrella, he's going around the corner, and who is it but vaguely Middle Eastern, yet ethnically vague man wielding a scimitar.
Yes, he's from an old time, and he comes from an old place.
Sandro, what ethnicity is this individual supposed to be?
He says he's from Palestine at one point.
Oh!
But he also, I don't know. I'm not sure at all where he's from. Doesn't really matter, because he's a genie.
Yes, he is a genie, but I will point out it is mentioned that he does hang out with Jesus.
Oh yeah, he's also hangs out in Rome most of the time.
Yeah, he's been in Rome a lot, so he's round the Mediterranean area.
For sure, yeah. He's been around.
What accent does he have?
Don't know. I got no clue what language he's talking at the start. Honestly, probably nothing. They probably just got them to speak vague gibberish and then subtitled it. That's what they used to do back then. That's what they still do now. But I don't know. I don't know. But Zach, that doesn't matter because he attacks Alan Cumming with a sword, and it's like, oh my goodness, he's gonna kill him. But then Alan Cumming's like, "I can't understand you. I wish that you would speak English." And then the genie talks in a British accent for the rest of the movie, so it's fine.
There you go.
So don't worry about it. The actor is from...
It's Lenny Henry. I got him up here because I was like, this guy's pretty good. I wonder what else he's done.
He's not done a whole lot. He's in the Lord of the Rings TV show. I don't know who he plays in that, but he is in that. He's just a popular comedian.
Yeah.
He's been in a bunch of stuff. And he's from, I think his parents are Jamaican or something, so...
Yeah, he's got a vaguely Jamaican British sort of accent going.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hybrid.
Which is funny if he's from the Middle East. I was just like, there's a lot of ethnicities just thrown around. It's a bit of a mix.
For sure.
But that's okay, because he's kind of like a wacky genie guy, so it's like, okay.
Yeah. But like with most Genie stories, it's different for this one because we see his origin story and how he became a genie. But like Aladdin, where's he from? It's Robin Williams. It's a white American guy. Why is he a genie?
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, like most Genie stories don't explain that part of it at all.
That's true. The backstory we get on the genie is he doesn't want to be a genie anymore.
Yeah.
This guy's less like, I don't want to be a genie anymore. He's more, I want to go back in time to see my family again because I have outlived them by 2,000 years.
Exactly.
Which is a fair bit of backstory. And his kittens.
Yeah. I liked how this genie had a lot of backstory. Like, historically, I don't know what's going on here. It doesn't really matter. Who cares? But like, I like that they added in that extra backstory because we don't usually get that with genie stuff at all.
Yeah, genies are interesting because comparing this to Aladdin... Right, let's dig a little bit into the lore here, right?
Yeah.
Because genies in traditional depictions...
The jinn, then.
...are malicious, yes, jinns, are malicious spirits.
Exactly.
Who have been trapped, and once released, they are like, oh yeah, I'll give you some wishes, and then I'm going to torment the entirety of mankind for, sealing me. You will be a king of worms, you fucking fool, for releasing me on the world.
Exactly, yeah.
But then you get the Robbie Williams thing, is like, it's just a funny guy. He's a funny goofball. He's kind of trapped in this lamp and he's down on his luck. You know? But I would have loved the twist that Aladdin releases him and he's like, haha, you fucking idiot. I was playing you the whole time, you know?
Get right. I mean, we do kind of get that because then we get the sequels. Then he made the live action one.
What did he wrought onto the world? Yeah. That's true. Maybe that was the evil Djinns.
Yeah, true. Exactly. Anyway, I liked all of that, and he's a great genie. I like him in this movie a lot. I don't think I've seen much with him in it. Now I kind of want to check some of his stand-up out, because I think he'd be pretty good.
Speaking of Aladdin, I believe this one comes out... I'm getting my source from Rotten Tomato reviews here, which I've got one of them, but it came out a year before Aladdin.
Oh, it did?
It's interesting to think about.
No, Zach, it didn't come out a year before Aladdin. It came out like 20-something years before Aladdin. 2019 was when Aladdin came out, Zach.
Boo! Boo!
I'm tempted to put it in now, but I'm not going to.
No.
I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. The one blessing I have on my side is you would also have to watch it,
Exactly.
which is the problem.
Although I could just do a prank where I watch the animated one and you watch the live action.
Oh, no, that would be so dog. That would be so
terrible.
dog.
We would never do that on a Pinocchio episode on Patreon.
You bastard. I had to watch that film.
You did.
And it was demonstrably okay.
So anyway, the genie's trying to kill Alan Cumming. He's like, I wish that you would speak English. So he starts to talk English. And then he's like, I wish that you would stop trying to kill me. And the genie's like, damn.
Which is funny. It's also confusing as to why Lenny Henry... I mean, to be fair, back in the day, maybe it's just a wise idea to try and kill someone. You don't know what their intentions are, bit of self-defense, light bit of manslaughter, but he's like, damn it, can't kill you anymore. Also, it's interesting because, of course, he doesn't have any limit on his wishes in this.
Yes, he immediately makes a third wish and he's just got unlimited, which...
He's just got unlimited wishes.
Yeah, I'm fine with that for this, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an established thing that it has to be 3 wishes. Like, that's just a common trope. It doesn't have to be 3 wishes. It's just interesting because Bernard right here, and let's be real, has unlimited potential magical powers.
He does.
Displayed to him. He literally could go hog wild. There's no limitations here given to him, right?
Yep.
Lenny Henry doesn't know what his powers even do.
I think this is his first time out of the lamp. I think.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so they could be doing anything. They could be ruling the world.
Exactly.
They could have bajillions of dollars, but instead, what did they do? They fucking eat McDonald's.
They order some McDonald's, and Lenny Henry's like, "Look, I love this bloody McDonald's," and then we just get a McDonald's ad for like 2 minutes. Just so random.
Very funny.
And then, like, Alan Cumming, he just wishes for a bunch of random stuff to show the genie how fun the modern times is, which is always a good montage. One of the things he also wishes for is the Mona Lisa. Was it a copy of the Mona Lisa? No,
he wished for very specifically the Mona Lisa. And I like this about the film, because you could wish for generic money in your pockets, and I'd presume that creates money out of thin air. But he wished for a specific object.
Yes.
So it makes sense that he didn't wish for, like, a copy of it or anything. No, he wished for the object.
Yes.
So the main plot line that happens, as we learn out, is that the Mona Lisa is teleported from the Louvre to his fucking wall.
Oh my god! They stole the Mona Lisa, kind of.
Yeah, and it's funny because they go out on hit in the town and have a fun time, which we'll get to in a second. But we do see at some point on a newspaper, it's like, the Mona Lisa stolen from the Louvre, you know? And it's like,
Yes.
There's a plot point cooking.
Which is very fun. I like that a lot. So we got the Mona Lisa. We then have a magic carpet ride that was fun.
Yeah. It's funny that they go like, Alan's like, oh man, I don't have a car anymore. And he's like, well, try this. And I'm like, well, you could just wish for one.
Yes.
You know, like, we've established you could just wish for anything at this stage. Like, Bernard over here does not really grasp the whole, I can wish for anything at this stage, right?
He doesn't.
Bernard is, like, the best person you could hope gets
This power?
a lamp, because he just doesn't use it at all. The monkey paw can't win if you just don't use it, right?
It's true, yeah. But it seems like they have a pretty fun night. They go watch Terminator 2. That was funny. He gets a makeover. That was good.
I like that, this is, like, essentially freeing the genie sort of thing of, like, instead of Bernard, like, wishing to become an emperor and trying to marry some stupid princess and just becoming filthy rich and then learning the error of his ways and that love was actually the true treasure of all or some bullshit, he's like, nah, let me just hang out with my new bro.
Man, which dumb character would do that? What a terrible movie that would make, I think.
That sounds like an awful fucking movie that involves a genie.
They go get ice cream, and we get a great quote where the genie's like, I've sucked on some pretty wonderful things, but this is delicious. Now, all throughout the movie, the genie is bisexual as all heck. He had a wife, but also he is so into men that I liked it. In my 90s British comedy, I was like, this is some diversity. This is some stuff that I wouldn't, usually they just make fun of him. And the joke would be that, ha ha ha, men though, like in men, blah. But in this movie, it's not like that at all. And I was like, that's pretty good. I liked when he called the cops kinky and then sucked on their guns.
Yeah. That was fun. But it makes sense because he did hang out in Rome a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Back then, it was so, yeah. No, exactly. There's a bunch of, like, random jokes that are only really, like, I don't really get the joke because we're watching this now. Like, there's a point where Alan Cumming turns into, like, a random celebrity, and I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Oh, no, wasn't that Jagger? Wasn't that Mick Jagger or something?
Oh, maybe. I don't think Mick Jagger would have been that young at this point.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who it was. It was definitely a reference. It was probably someone a bit more British.
For sure. Well, that's funny because Alan Cummings plays Mick Jagger in fucking the Flintstones. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking. That that's why I thought of it.
Yeah. But anyway, they have a fun time. There's a love interest. She's not really in the movie much, but Alan Cummings like, I got a crush on that person, and then the genie tries to set them up, but it doesn't really work at all. That kind of continues throughout the movie. But also it does work. It's very confusing.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that he's friendly and she reciprocates.
Yeah.
She's tired at work and then she's got this cool guy. And she likes this cute guy.
Yeah.
With his silly little haircut, And and I think it sets it up for, it's the gun on the mantelpiece for the ending of the film, you know.
Definitely. Yeah.
It doesn't really go anywhere now, but it's like, just to, you know, finish off the film later. It's good.
But the Genie goes to watch Terminator 2 a second time, which, I mean, honestly, same, but also, fuck, that's long. That's a long movie to watch twice in a day. Alan Cumming goes back home, and oh no, the cops are there, and he kills a man, and he gets arrested, all because he stole the Mona Lisa, and Rowan Atkinson's trying to set him up.
Yeah. I think the guy he turns into is Bob Geldof.
Who is that?
Who was an Irish singer and songwriter and political activist.
Huh.
Yeah, at some point he turns his chair into Melvin Bragg.
Mm-hmm.
Which was an English broadcaster on the BBC, which makes sense, you know, because it's a BBC.
I'm pretty sure the BBC theme started playing when he showed up as well. I was like, that sounds vaguely familiar.
Which is very funny, you know. And so there's just little bits like that.
Which is always, you know, always a fun part about returning to comedies from, like, the old times is, the old times. From, you know, back before we were conscious, is whenever there's, like, random references that we don't quite get. I mean, Aladdin from 92 is full of modern references.
Yeah.
That don't really work anymore now. So it just makes sense that they'd remake it, Zach. It just makes complete sense that they'd remake it.
It's true. Makes total sense. And you know what? I'm totally down with it. I see zero problems.
You see zero problems with Will Smith playing the Genie in 2019's Aladdin?
Yep. Nope, it's great. I'm so glad you've picked it for this week and that we're going to have to watch it. I've already... You know what? I've accepted it, Sandro. And you know what? I wouldn't even be disappointed or sad if we had to watch it.
It's not an option, but I can put it as one if you want.
No. I was joking, please. I was trying to reverse psychology at that stage.
So anyway, he's in jail. Genie is walking around the house. Eventually, Genie also gets arrested because Alan Cumming tries to call Genie so many times, and the cops are like, there's someone else at the house that we should probably go arrest, some sort of accomplice. So they arrest him. Rowan Atkinson and the Genie are both in jail, and then they just wish that none of that ever happened.
Yeah, it's good. It's like, yeah, because the Genie's out hitting the town while Bernard's like, I'm going to go rest up for a bit. Bernard gets caught by the police, and we have this dramatic scene where Rowan Atkinson comes down and is like, hello there.
Yes.
Bottle.
Bottle.
We have found you guilty of grand larceny.
Yes.
Because, yeah, he's stolen the Mona Lisa. And he's like, I can explain. And then goes to explain and is like, oh shit, I can't explain.
I can't actually explain. But I wish this wasn't here.
And then he gets arrested.
Oh, it didn't work.
Yep, because of course the Genie isn't there to hear him, so he doesn't hear the wish. So it does establish some rules.
Kinda.
Well, the Genie has to be there to hear the request.
Oh yeah, which makes complete sense.
That is a rule of the lamp, we know now, right? It's not important for the rest of the film, but it is a rule that is established at least at one stage.
Yep.
So yeah, anyway... He gets arrested, Genie gets arrested too at some stage, and then they're back at the cell, and he's just like, man, I wish you had been there, and then whoop, we get a good little rewind.
Which is like, there's a horror movie called Wishmaster, which is about a genie, that I watched a couple months ago, honestly. Kind of annoying, because I could have put that as an option if I hadn't watched it a couple months ago, but anyway, can't do that now.
You can still put it as an option, Sandro, just because you've watched it.
Oh, maybe it already is, though, Zach. No, it's not. But that's a really fun movie, and part of, like, he's an unbeatable genie, and the only way that you could potentially defeat him is by, you know, playing at his own rules, which when it comes to genies always comes to thinking about before the genie showed up. It is always very important.
Yeah.
So I love time travel genie stuff. I find it very fun and interesting, and I'm glad there was a little bit of that.
It is interesting. I was going to mention at some point Rowan Atkinson is like, investigate his house sort of thing. He says this to two old ladies.
Oh, the old lady scene.
Who he fires one immediate. One of the actresses is Janet Henry, who's been in a lot of British television and movies and stuff.
Ooh. Oh yeah, she's in the Doctor Who episode The Curse of Fenric, which I don't think I've seen that one actually. So
she's in Cruella, the 2021 movie.
I like that movie. That movie, now that's one of the only good live-action Disney movies.
Yeah. Like, she's in a lot of stuff, and she's still doing a lot of stuff, so...
Yeah. Okay, what happens after that? They go back in time. They are like, I wish that the painting of the Mona Lisa was a painting of Kylie Minogue, so the Mona Lisa randomly appears back in the Louvre, so they don't get arrested for that. Although the genie does just throw out a bunch of insults at the cops, and they're about to arrest them again, and then the genie's like, I bet you wish that never happened. And Alan Cumming's like, yeah, bloody do wish that. And then, they time travel back again, so none of it matters. But that was pretty fun.
Yeah. They poke a bit of fun now that they've established the rule that they can go back and reverse events. The genie's like, hey, fuck you, cop. You're a piece of shit. And it's like, I see the genie is based and red-pilled.
Exactly. No, hating cops is blue-pilled, Zach.
Oh, is it blue and red-pilled? Woo. Oh.
Well, there goes our American audience again. Anyway. It's fine. A little bit of propaganda is a treat, as I always say, whenever I watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I like how in later episodes they go, actually, cops are bad because that's currently the world we live in and it sucks.
I loved that. I loved how they made a final season that was just, the season.
Yeah, no, it literally was, though. It literally was.
It was like, oh, boy. Anyway, so now that the Mona Lisa plot's done, which it kind of feels like the movie ends 20 minutes early, because that's not really the plot of the movie, but it's like probably the most exciting part of the movie, but also not really, but like it's a very important part of the whole premise as to why this comedy is a comedy.
I mean, yeah, it's where they confront the villain and his schemes and other things, like things come to a clash here, but they resolve it with the power of wishing.
Exactly.
For correct things, and then the movie kind of like, is like, all right, now what do we do? Oh, we've got to resolve this arc. It's like, it's the first big arc to resolve, and then we've got some smaller arcs to resolve up. Shores up the movie, easy done.
Yeah, it turns into a Christmas, like a proper Christmas movie at this point, because then it's like Bernard is teaching the genie all about Christmas, and the genie's like, I knew Jesus, and they make a bunch of Jesus jokes.
Oh, yeah.
And they make a bunch of jokes about like how Jesus would hate Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, if he existed, he 100% would fucking hate Christmas. Like, yeah, of course.
Yeah. I like how the genie was like, yeah, I tried to get Jesus to make some businesses using his powers, but he was like, no. So, cheers to Jesus, a bad businessman, but a good friend. And I was like,
I don't know, Zach. Looking at the state of the world right now, he was probably the best businessman ever. Because he made the church.
Yikes. Yep, I got it.
That's the joke for all the Catholics out there. Anyway,
I don't think that's for the Catholics. I think that was heavily against the Catholics. Son, Sandro, I don't know if you're not very skilled at being pro-Catholic.
No, I'm very anti, actually. Extremely so. Some would say too much.
Yeah, well, as a pro-Catholic on the show.
Oh, that's not true. No. Keep going.
I'll say I think the Jesus mentions were pretty tight in this film, and I was down for it. Almost as down for it as a pizza from Papa John's and a bucket of KFC. And
I love that part where they're like, this has been a perfect Christmas. One thing's missing. Here's some Pizza Hut and KFC.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if it was Papa John's, though. That would have been good.
I love me some Jesus propaganda and fast food propaganda in my comedy films.
It gets close to being Jesus propaganda, but it doesn't ever cross that line, which I liked. And also Christmas in the UK is a lot more religious than Christmas, particularly in Australia. Like, Christmas in the UK is incredibly Christian, so it makes sense. Like, honestly, they were probably restraining themselves with this.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, the genie's like, I'm going to give kids their wishes, so he dresses up as Santa and then grants a bunch of kids wishes. One of those wishes is an older brother wants his younger sister to blow up.
Yeah. Oh my god. No. This is totally... They skip over this portion of the movie.
They do.
And they just move on. But I'm like, they totally just did a... What's that movie where Morgan Freeman's God and he gives the fucking main actor god powers? What's that called?
Evan Almighty is one of them. I don't know. Oh, Bruce Almighty is the first one, I think, right?
Bruce Almighty. Yeah. There was a Bruce Almighty moment because Bruce Almighty does that at one stage. He just like reply all yes to wishes. And it fucks the entire world up. I'm just saying, this was on a smaller scale, but he totally fucked some people's lives up.
100%.
It was fucked up. They blew up a kid. One kid wishes to be older, right?
Yeah, he wishes to be fucking, like, big.
And so he comes out, it's like, hey, mom. And it's like, that mom's gonna be like, who the fuck are you? What did you do with my son,
Exactly.
right?
Also, how are you going to explain Santa to your kids now? How the fuck are you going to do that?
Yeah. It's like, he is totally fucked up an area completely. And then, do you know what happens? He leaves the next minute. So they have no way of resolving the problems that they just caused there.
Exactly.
And it's just sort of skipped over. But anyway.
Just kind of skipped over. They get Alan Cumming's best friend and fiance arrested for growing weed, which was funny.
Yeah. The comeuppance is like, oh yeah, these people were bad at one stage. Well, I guess this is bad for them. I guess that's bad.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't as satisfying of a comeuppance.
Not really. I mean, especially because, like, growing marijuana that's not, who cares? People shouldn't be in jail for that.
It's worse back then.
Oh, in the 90s, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, that was the craze. That's why it's there, for sure. But, like, yeah, nowadays it would have been like, whatever, right? It's just interesting. It's like, that was the best comeuppance for this adulterer. Surely there could have been some sort of thing. It's like, oh, actually, you are both impotent. You can't have baby. Like, that's a bit dark. It's a bit dark.
For sure. They probably didn't want to get too, like, it's still kind of like a happy movie, so, you know.
But, like, surely you could have come up with something like, it's like, they both actually fall in love with someone. They've both been cheating on each other.
Oh, he gives them, like, a cheating curse. They'll always cheat on everyone. That's so mean! Oh my god! Exactly, they've already got it. Fuck them.
No, but I'm like, you know what I mean, though? They could have come up with something more. It's like...
Yeah.
Oh, actually, they don't love each other, and they break up, and then they're sad because they're no longer friends with Al. Like, you know, there's something they could have done.
Definitely. And Rowan Atkinson's comeuppance, now that's a good one. Rowan Atkinson's comeuppance is he donates all of his money to charity.
Yeah, they wish he donated all of his money to charity. And it's funny because then it's on live TV. They go and they interview Rowan Atkinson, and he's like, "Oh yes, I did it out of the generosity of my heart." And they're like, "Ooh, surely a knighthood is on their way." And then Alan Cummings is like, "Oh no, I wish that he wasn't coming on his way." And then the reporter gets a thing. It's like, "Oh, never mind, it's not on the way at all," which is fucking brutal.
Exactly. That was very funny. And then, yeah, the end of the movie is the genie's like Alan Cummings like, "What do you want for Christmas, Genie?" And Genie's like, "I want to go home." And so Alan Cummings wishes him home. They're best friends. They have a nice hug. Pretty sure there's probably a couple more jokes in there about how the genie's incredibly attracted to Alan Cumming, which is very funny. And then he wishes him back home, and then the movie pretty much ends at that point. We get a little post-credits where he's like, "I got all this modern day stuff. I'm gonna fuck up the past."
Yeah, which is great. And I liked, Alan goes to the girl and gets her number.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the end of the film where he goes, yeah.
Which, it's a nice ending to an all-round nice movie with a lot of good jokes, a lot of good moments. It's just, someone should remaster this.
Yeah, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't do anything crazy. It's just like a little slice of life in the fact that this very unimaginative individual gets the power of God and then uses it to eat a lot of ice creams and plant weed on someone. So, there you go.
Good fun times. Anyway, now it's time for my favourite section of whenever we review a British movie. What episodes of Doctor Who were all these cast members in? So the first cast member was...
Whoa! Of course, because this is a BBC production.
Exactly.
Which means all the actors are in Britain right now, which means we can slap them in some Doctor Who episodes.
Oh, Alan Cumming's in an episode with witches. I didn't like it, but he was good in it. Rowan Atkinson's in Curse of the Fatal Death. That's a parody of Doctor Who, where he's the Master, I think, or he's the Doctor.
Nice.
Or he's both.
Oh.
Everyone dies and regenerates constantly. It's pretty funny, yeah. Anyway, the actor of Lenny...
When you're part of a military family, you understand sacrifice and support. So at American Public University, we honor your dedication by extending our military tuition savings to your extended family. Parents, spouses, legal partners, siblings, and dependents all qualify for APU's preferred military rate of just $250 per credit hour for undergraduate and master's level programs. American Public University. Value for the whole family. Learn more at apu.apus.edu/military.
Not sure what happened there, Zach. Seems to be a random ad break out of nowhere. It's almost like no one cared. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're done with that segment, Sandro. So we can move on to raving reviews.
Ooh.
But you're in charge. But actually, I wish I was in charge.
Oh, wait, you wish you were in charge. Zach, when did you figure out that I was a genie?
Partway through this episode.
Oh my goodness. Well, you are in charge. Good luck. That's your only wish of the episode. I only had one left.
Damn. I wish I had used that for, million gold, or the fact that the remaster of the Aladdin movie just never happened. I would have gone for that one.
Oh, I'm very tempted to give that for you as a freebie, but it is an option coming up, so...
No! So... in Rotten Reviews, I go to the best place for reviews, Rotten Tomatoes, and I go to the audience, because as we all know, the critics are corporate shills.
Well, Zach, not only that, but there isn't any critic reviews for this movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's besides the point. But on that point, there wasn't many audience reviews either.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's, as you said, it's not very well distributed, so there's not a huge fan base for this film, but there are some reviews. And I have gathered 5 of the ones that were there.
Ah.
And one of my own.
Ooh, and I've got to guess which one yours is, and the rating of all the ones that you've gathered.
Well, there's 5 total. One of them's mine. Look, there was not many reviews, but most of them were pretty good.
All right, hell yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm going to read them out to you. You're going to have to guess the ratings. The ratings go from 0.5 to 5. Are you ready?
Yes, let's go.
You wish.
Oh my god, you rude man.
Right, so the first review is by Patty, which is the only one with a username. The rest of them, the usernames are lost to time. Who says, odd movie, but entertaining. It certainly is fascinating to see this movie that was released a year before Disney's Aladdin.
Yes.
Definitely worth watching.
I agree. That's interesting, actually, because there's a genie who... it doesn't break the fourth wall, but makes a lot of, modern jokes, and it is just before Aladdin. I wonder if they stole this. Probably not.
It's possible that they got inspiration for it, but I wouldn't say stole. It's well known that it was long in production.
For sure.
Before. In fact, the opposite could be true, but Robin Williams is a whole different, shebang, right?
Exactly. Yeah, no, for sure. That's probably a 3.5, maybe? Pretty high.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's 3.5. You're on the money.
All right, I've already locked into this one.
Yeah. Good start. Next review. Again, no usernames for the rest of them, but I will just go off what I think they'd sound like. Nostalgic British Christmas classic. Possibly Lenny Henry's best movie.
Oh, I don't think he's done many movies. That's a pretty good...
Yeah, good to know we did the best one.
Exactly. That's got to be a pretty solid 4.5 out of 5. He was in the Flintstones movie? What the fuck?
It's actually 3.5. You were a point up there, a bit too positive.
I'm not sure who he played, but he was in the Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. I don't know who he... That's so random.
It was probably one of the voices of, like, a dinosaur or something, you know?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're right.
The next one, this one's a British classic. A fully fledged bastard of a good Christmas movie.
All right. Yeah. Oh, that's it. Okay.
That's the review. A fully fledged bastard of a good Christmas movie.
That might be yours, just purely down to the usage of the word bastard.
I would never use the word bastard.
It might not be 5 out of 5, but I'm going to guess 5 out of 5 just because of how positive that review was.
It's a 5 out of 5.
Oh, let's go.
Very positive.
All right.
Second last one is, we all need a doorman who lies to you.
I agree. That's going to be a 4 out of 5, I reckon.
That's a 4 out of 5.
Oh my, what the fuck is going on? I'm bloody...
Man, you've gotten a lot of points. You're really good at judging the British population by the sounds of it.
That's true. I always judge those Brits.
I feel like if I use the British voice for every review, you would always get them correct.
Potentially, definitely.
Well, our final review is, it's not Xmas till I've seen Bernard get sacked, Rowan Atkinson playing the ultimate nasty boss, and Gary Lineker shouting, "Look, mummy!"
As the boy who was a kid and is now not a kid. Considering that it's not Christmas until that person's watched this movie, it's gotta be 5 out of 5, surely.
It is 5 out of 5.
Oh, that's almost...
Very nice. You got a lot of points on this one. Did you only get like one wrong?
I think I only got one wrong. That's pretty good.
Wow, that's pretty good. All right, which one was my review?
The bastard one, for sure.
It was not, in fact, the bastard one.
Oh, wait, was it the doorman one?
It was the doorman one. You should have known. That's my favorite character. I said it earlier.
That checks out. Damn.
I know it was going to be... I knew the bastard one would really throw you off. And that's
really
why
did.
I liked that one. It was a good one.
Excellent. Well, there we go. That's the whole episode right there. Thank you so much for listening to the bloody podcast. Thank you.
Yeah.
And a Merry New Year, and have a good 2025. We'll be here doing movies, so you can hang out with us if you want.
Yeah, thank you for listening. We hope you had a very good Christmas and a happy new year.
If you like the show and want to help us out, just listening obviously helps, but you can also subscribe on YouTube. We're very close to monetizing YouTube. That might happen this year, which is very strange, but it might, so that's fun.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
So there's links to that in the episode description. Patreon as well, patreon.com/Oldie Buddy Goodie Pod if you want bonus episodes, ad-free episodes. Current bonus episode is Beverly Hills Cop 4. Go check that episode out. It's a good one.
And if you want to help out the show, just tell a friend. You go, hey, did you have a good Christmas? Did you have a good New Year's? Shut the fuck up. I don't care. Go listen to this podcast about two white dudes reviewing movies.
Exactly.
It's pretty good.
And speaking of reviewing movies, Zach, it's time for you to pick which movie we're doing next week.
All right. Well, let's hope it isn't Aladdin the live action. At this stage, it can't be, right? It just can't be.
All right. I will give you... Ooh, do I want to... I will. I'm going to give you a special... twist at the end of... After you've picked a movie, there's going to be a little twist for you.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But anyway, Zach, you got 3 movies, 3 pretty different movies, and you got to pick the and they're all connected to what we just watched, and you got to pick one, and I've got to give you the gimmies, which
This could be interesting, because as I said, we could link it to Aladdin, blah, blah, blah. But there's also a lot of things. There's Christmas in this movie.
I'm not going to do another Christmas.
There's Rowan Atkinson in this movie.
That's true. Rowan Atkinson could do him.
There's magic in this film. There's just genies in general. There's like time travel in this film. Like
that's a little bit of a stretch, but because that's more magic, I think. But you know.
Oh yeah. Well, like again, magic is also a connection we haven't used. There's a lot you could go on here.
There is a lot.
Fantasy, comedy, like there's just a lot.
Yeah, and not many of the band connections would work as connections to this one anyway. So
you could just go with anything.
You got 3 options. I'm gonna give you year
Yep.
and genre. I'm not gonna give you cast members for this one. I'm vetoing that immediately.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
No cast members because I think it'll just it won't work for these choices. I'm just gonna say that.
All right.
So your first option is from 2023.
Okay, 2023. Not super recent, but definitely recent.
I was gonna say last year, but not any bloody more, mate.
Haha.
That movie is a comedy.
Yeah.
You've got 1996.
Ooh. Around the same sort of ballpark. That could be interesting. That could be Aladdin, for all I know. The original. Probably not, seeing as we know it came out a year after, and I could do some basic math, but yeah.
Could be Aladdin 2 Return of Jafar. Could be.
Oh my god, that one's awful. No, I hope not.
Have not seen it, and I don't want to. This movie is a family movie.
Ooh, okay, family movie.
And then option number 3 is from 1987.
87. Ooh.
And Zach, that one is a horror.
Ooh.
Got stabbed.
Well, that's... Yeah, wow. That was very dramatic. I'm excited for 1987 over here. That one's got a bit of spice on it.
All right, those are your 3 options. Ask me whatever questions you want. I'm not going to give cast members.
Okay. Colors. I want colors straight away.
Colours.
I'm feeling colors. Yeah. Because
Alright.
I know the 1987 one's going to be like black and white, and I'm going to be like, cool.
Okay, color for the first one, I'm going to say yellow and
Ooh.
pink? Yellow and pink.
Yellow and pink.
Ugh.
Comedy? Ugh. That's making me shrivel.
Just a bit bright. It's very yellow and pink. Second one, I'm going to go green and purple.
Ooh, okay.
And then the horror is black and blue, I guess.
Black and blue? Okay. Well, that's better than black and white. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me the second genre of these films?
Can I? You bet I can. Okay, so second genre for the first one would be fantasy.
So comedy, fantasy, yellow and pink.
Yellow and pink. It's just very colourful, I'll say. Quite colourful.
Yeah.
Number 2 is musical.
Musical.
Family musical. And number 3, I mean, it's a horror, so saying slash is more of the subgenre. It's a slasher. It is a slasher.
Slasher. Right, okay, yeah. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. If the main characters of these films could make a wish to a genie, what would be the wish they would make?
Oh, God. Okay. Fuck. All right.
Yeah, this is a tricky question.
Movie number 1 would be Christmas All the Time.
Christmas All the Time. Oh, I hate that. That's awful.
I guess.
I really hate that movie that you've picked there. I don't know what it is, but every answer you have answered to that is repulsing me from this movie.
That's a shame. That's a little bit of a shame, actually. That's fine.
I know, but it's like... it's not that I don't want to pick it, it's just every answer you have answered to me has made me physically repulsed from that movie.
Not want it. That's totally fair. Here's my suggestion for you is ask better questions.
Oh, wow. How about you get better answers and give me my 2 extra wishes? Because I had 3 wishes. Give me my 2 extra wishes, bitch.
Oh, wow. That's so rude. Movie number 2. The wish that the main character would make is to be a successful rapper.
Whoa. This is a musical?
Yeah.
With rapping? Oh, my God.
Movie number 3. I guess to not die would be the wish, because it's a slasher.
That's a fair wish. Look, I would wish the same in that situation.
For sure.
That seems very fair.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do final Rotten Tomatoes. Higher than 50%, lower than 50%. I know this is a little bit of we've used this one a lot, and I want to come up with some more creative questions in the future, but this might help me with the yellow and pink one. You can veto this question if you want.
I'm going to veto this question, and I'm going to ask that you be a little bit more specific with it.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Sandro, if you were to rate these films, would you rate each? What would you rate these films, judging by? You probably haven't seen them, have you?
No, I've seen none of these.
Right, but just going off the cover, what would you guess you would rate them? How about that?
Above or below 50? Is that what you're asking? Or like a quick review of the movie?
I could make you do more specific, but it's funnier if you just go higher or below on Rotten Tomatoes.
God. Okay.
Because if we do any of these, you have to stick by your word here and give them an oldie or a good. If you were to give each of these an oldie or a goodie,
all right,
judging by their cover, which means if I pick them, you have to go by this or you're a liar.
The stakes are high for this. Movie number 1, I think would be right down the middle. It would be like exactly 50%, equal parts oldie, equal parts goodie. Movie number 2, 100% an oldie. But not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Movie number 3, I honestly might give it a goodie.
Okay, all right.
Probably may give it a maybe.
I think I'm going to cut out the middle movie.
You're cutting the middle one?
Yeah, well, the middle one's the musical, right?
Yeah. It could get an award on how much of an oldie it is, but I haven't seen it, so I can't be that, I can't go that hard with it.
Yeah. I might cut it out for now.
Okay.
We might come back to that one in the future,
Yeah, for sure.
But for now, I think I'm just going to pass on that one because I don't know if I could deal with that after this cutesy little movie.
Yep.
I'm deadly curious about the first one, though.
You are curious about the first one.
I am curious, even though it's repulsing me in every way, shape, or form. That could be a good episode, right?
Yeah, definitely. I sounded sarcastic, but I meant it. Yes, I think it would. I mean, I wouldn't put it as an option. I would have put Aladdin as an option if instead of.
Is the first one a kids' film? Is both of these ones kids' films?
The middle one is because it's family, but the other two are definitely not kids' movies. No, I mean the first one is probably could be watched by kids, but the target demographic is not kids.
Is not kids.
No.
Okay, that's important because that changes my viewpoint on it. Because if we watch a slasher, I know what I'm getting into, right?
Yeah, but we haven't done a horror yet so far in this season.
It's true. I did want to do what was it?
Black Christmas, I think it was.
Black Christmas. Yeah, I did want to do Black Christmas at some point, but I kind of want to pick this first one now. I've kind of talked myself into it. I feel like. What was it? 2023.
2023.
Far out. That's so recent, though.
It's very recent.
Okay, you have to tell me, is it Bumblebee?
No. That came out in 2018, I think. And it's not Transformers, the most recent one, not the animated one, the other one. It's not that one either.
That's a shame, because I would have liked to see that one.
That one was pretty good. I didn't mind that one.
We are called Oldie but a Goodie, though, and this is 2023.
You can ask one more question, and then, yeah, you're gonna have to look at him.
Yeah, this is definitely I gotta do or die.
Or you could just pick something now if you wanted.
Yeah, no, Sandro, which one would you think would make the better episode?
Don't ask me that. That's not fair.
I think it is fair. I think you could be the judge.
I think they both make good episodes. I think the horror one could go either way.
Yeah.
I think it would make a good episode. It could go either way. But also, I think the first one could be a good episode. I would say the horror one's probably 60% going to be a good episode. The comedy one's probably 75% would be a good episode. But I feel like the risk on the horror one might be a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay. This is interesting because I think we're both going to enjoy the horror one. We're good fans of horror one.
For sure.
I'm just scared I'm not going to like the other one. That's my problem here. And I feel like...
That's pretty fair. I'm scared I'm not going to like the other one.
Well, now I want to pick it just because it's your fault that's on this list. And you know what? What was the other one I put in there? The robot movie?
The Wild Robot? I watched that last week. It was great.
Yeah. I put that one on, and that's a modern movie, and you didn't pick it. So I'm going to pick the modern movie this time.
Fuck. You're actually picking it? All right.
I will pick it. despite the wrath of Ben that shall be upon us for doing a movie that's literally less than a year old, probably.
All right. Well, let's go from 3 to 1 then. I'll reveal what they were. Number 3, I was actively trying to find horror movies about genies because I watched Wishmaster and I loved Wishmaster so much that I was like, I want to find more of them. This is a horror movie called The Outing, also known as The Lamp, which is about a genie that just kills teenagers. Yeah.
Oh, man, that would have been cool.
Which looked pretty fun. I think it was just recently remastered as well, so it has a bit of a cult following behind it. Number 2 was Kazam.
Oh, of course. Nice. That's pretty good.
The Shaquille O'Neal rapping genie, because he always wanted to be a rapper, but he sucks. So that's why that was...
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
And the movie you picked is called Genie. The connections for all of these was that they were Genie movies.
Genies, obviously.
Yeah. Except the movie that you picked, Zach... I'm just going to wait for it to load.
Oh my god, this looks fucking awful. What the fuck?
The movie that you picked is actually a remake of the movie that we just watched.
No way. We're doing a remake?
It's the American remake of Bernard and the Genie, in which the Genie is Melissa McCarthy and Bernard he has the Genie.
Fuck me, this is gonna be fucking terrible.
My partner's seen it.
Why the fuck did I pick this?
My partner's seen it and says it was okay, but also can't remember it because it was kind of mid.
Oh my god, this looks so mid.
But hey, Alan Cumming's in this one as well, so, you know.
Oh my god.
But Zach.
Hey, Alan Cummings is in this.
But Zach,
there you go.
it's time for a twist. You have picked the movie Genie, but because I am a glorious wish genie man, I'm giving you the option. Would you prefer to do the live-action remake of Aladdin?
Oh my god! Fuck! I don't even know. That is a fair option. And like, if I'd pick the other two, the answer would absolutely be no, right?
Yes. But this is the one where I think you're like, maybe.
This is the one film where it might be possible that I would prefer the live-action one. I'm gonna say no. I like that the connection here is not a genie. This is a remake thing, because the problem with this is, like, I'd like to do more genie-related
Yeah, for sure.
things, right? And with the other two, it's just genie. This is specifically remake of a movie is the connection here.
The connection is, well, it's kind of like when we do a sequel. You get one free pass. The connection is a remake of Bernard and the Genie. So
yes.
the potential connection of other remakes is there, but we can never do.
I don't like that. I'm not going to do another remake. I'm going to live by you can't do another remake, but you can live by the rules of you can't do another remake of Bernard and the Genie.
That is the connection. It is a remake of Bernard and the Genie. Well, because like if we're allowed to do. The connection is the actor, and whether or not it's banned is who the actor is. It should be the same for, like, franchises or remakes, is you can only pick one more movie in that franchise.
Yeah, but hear me out, Sandro. You're wrong and dumb.
No, I disagree. You can veto me on that if you want, but that's my connection.
No. It's your connection. You're connecting these films together. You could write down what it, but I will probably suggest a remake of something at some point. So I'm not gonna even lock myself down. I'm probably gonna break these rules at some point, you know.
Hell yeah. Well, next week, it's the same movie all over again. We're doing Genie, baby, but this time it's American.
This is going to be very silly, and I cannot wait for us to, like, just hate this movie compared to the original one.
I feel like some parts of it might be better, but I feel like the majority of this is going to be a little... Also, it's another fucking Christmas movie. God damn it.
Yeah, Sandro, what are you doing? We talked about this earlier. You can't put a Christmas movie this late into January.
Oh my
God
goodness.
damn it, Sandro.
That's so cringy. You sure you don't want to change it to Aladdin 2019?
No,
All
I
right.
really don't want to
All
see
right.
the Aladdin live action. I'd rather see this than the Aladdin live action.
Well, next week we're doing Genie on Paramount Plus. Let's go.
You know what, Sandro? I wish this podcast would end.